Hey guys, thank you so much for the invitation. It is a pleasure sitting down and having this chat with you. I'm sorry that I couldn't be here live, but today is my birthday. So somewhere doing something that I really have no idea what it is, but provide some insight for you. And I just hope that you see something from a different perspective. Feel free to reach out to me at all my social media handles. So let's get into it.
I'm a God girl, that's who I be. From the top of my head to the soles of my feet.
What is Christian influencer culture?
Well, really, Christian influencer culture is actually just allowing God's message to flow through everything that you do daily. So the influencer culture would be persons in the society, persons on social media who have some sort of influence, they have some sort of community, but oftentimes those persons aren't necessarily Christians, and those persons aren't necessarily living a life that you can emulate. So I feel like everybody has a space on social media. I feel like everybody belongs somewhere, and I loved having other ladies, other guys who I could relate to, who are Christians, who are living a lifestyle that really was something that I could identify with. So in everything you do, whether you're eating or you're drinking, you do it all for the glory of God, and that's what it means to me.
How did your journey as a Christian YouTuber and blogger begin?
Okay, so I began blogging when I was about 17, and I started with a blog called Struggles of an Only Child. And it was pretty cute because at the time I would just write about random stuff. Oh, my mommy did this today, we did that today. And then after that, it kind of evolved into me talking a little bit about my faith journey, and then people asking me stuff, and it moved from there to talking about going to university and doing dorm room tours and talking about shopping for your dorm room, and it evolved with me. So at every journey every journey that I took on, blogging evolved. So when I decided that I was going to kind of start becoming public about being a Christian, and I wanted that to be shown in every area of my life, then I started writing about it. And then from there, you write about it, then you start making videos, people start asking questions. And then I made this funny series called Guilty Stains, which was a big joke. It was kind of, let me call it satire. So it was satirical, right? And what I would do is that I would look on some little things in the church that we don't really see as big stuff, and I would act them out in some funny ways, and then afterwards I would have a little wrap up and I would convey a message, and people loved it. And then I moved from there doing Their Church Girl. Their Church Girl was supposed to be 10 episodes, just like how Guilty Stains was 10 episodes. After the 10th episode, everybody was like, you have to continue. I realized that there's a need for it, and wherever there's a need and wherever God calls you, it kind of just flowed. And then from there, YouTube started, and then it's just living life.
You're a law student. How do you balance being a YouTuber and a blogger while being a full-time law student?
I don't balance. There's no such thing as balance. It's a lie, okay? But what I found that works for me is that I prioritize. So at different stages of the journey, certain things will take priority. And the truth is, when you're doing anything lifestyle vlogging, it's not that separate from what you're doing regularly, because people want to be a part of your everyday life. So my audience, they know that, Zara has exams, Zara not going to be posting that much. They know that Zara is stressed out, she's on the floor, she's bawling, we need to pray for her, So I never really had to separate it, but I had to prioritize and I had to organize. So I tried my best to stick to a schedule. I tried my best to group stuff together when I could. So when I could group videos, I could group filming, and I would take one day and I would film for an entire month, right? So now I had that system working for me, and then of course I would actually make school work for itself. So yeah, so prioritizing at different stages, that's how I did it.
Great. There are many cyberbullies online. How does negative comments affect your mental health?
Well, when it comes to cyberbullying, the truth is, people who cyberbully you are either trying to be you, they hate you for some reason. And for me, I always tell people that don't look on me and see Zara. I want you to see God. I want you to see what God wants you to hear. I want you to see what God wants you to see. So really, when I see people having their bad comments, I think they are trying to attack God, and I know that God always wins. So I just don't make it get to my head. I know that there are people who are going to always have opinions, people who are always wanting to do things that are so different. No, people want to attack things that are so different, rather. They don't want you to be living your life. And I also know that some people feel bad when they see us as Christian influencers or people out there who are overtly trying to express their feelings. They feel it kind of drape them up about their own lives, and it kind of make them reflect and know they think you're a threat. So I don't really see it as a personal attack. I see it as the enemy trying to attack God, and war started in heaven, so I just keep it moving. And they always say that if you have cyberbullies, it means that you're doing something good. Like if people are coming to you, it means that you're on the right track. So I just say, okay, fans, you stay over there. I just live my life.
How are you able to stand firm on your beliefs in such an opinionated space?
The space is opinionated, but not all opinions come in. I have a very tight circle. I know a lot of people, but I don't allow a lot of people to become a part of my inner circle, just because I'm super selective of who and what type of ideologies I let into my space, right? So the opinions may be around me, but I have blockers. I really have blockers. Nothing really gets to me like that. And if you come to me, you have to come to me good. So if you have an opinion, everybody is entitled to their own opinions. I respect other people's opinions, but it just doesn't seep in, because I keep prayed up and I keep in the word. Like, you have to keep in the word, because if you don't keep in the word, then you are going to get targets that are not of the word, right? And for me, it's just kind of feeding your spirit, so that my spirit doesn't want for anything else, because anything else it should want for, it should be something that is led.
What drives your consistency in putting out content?
Knowing that I wanted to be the woman that I wanted to see. I think about another young lady my age, and I mean, I do know that I have followers who are males as well, but predominantly I do cater to females. And I think about the consistency that I would have wanted. And as well as I would have mentioned to you guys before, that because I do a lot of lifestyle stuff, it's easy, it's so effortless. It's me talking about my day already happening. It's me vlogging an activity that I would have done anyways. So because of that, it helps me to keep consistent, because it's so simple for me. I've never been a very private person. Like, I've always been I don't have any skeletons to hide, and I don't mind sharing my life. So if it's a thing where people like to see what I do so they can relate, and so that they can get ideas and stuff, yeah, so that helps me to keep consistent. Plus, I think about it as this: God wants you in this space, and He knows that He has a role for you in this space. So it's just what you need to be doing right now. And I feel like once you know that that's what you need to be doing and you're called to it, nothing can stop you.
How do you come up with new content?
My audience, my friends, my sisters, my tribe. I literally, in the beginning, what I used to do is I used to just think about things that I had problems with, and I would talk about them. And then I would ask people around me. But nowadays, I have banks upon content, because I just listen to whatever I'm finding. So my DMs, I've always said that my DMs are open. Anybody can jump in at any time and say, yo, Zara, we're dealing with XYZ, how you think I should do this? And I would be like, oh, I should make a video about this. And I say, you would mind if I make a video about this? And they go, no. And I make a video about it, or I make a post about it, and then because I am also, I'm never aloof, I'm never away and outside of the situation. So I've always said to anybody, we are in this journey together. I am struggling with you, I am fighting with you, and I'm walking with you. So I really know what you're going through. So because of that, I just think about, okay, Zara, what's your current struggle? A lot of the times the captions I write are for me and my friends, because I'm in this space. So all of that together helps me to create content.
What are some of the programs that you use to make and edit your content?
I edit my videos with iMovie, so that's the free editor on my MacBook, and I film with my phone. So I'm currently filming with my phone. I also use InShot, which is a phone app. So if you see me post any little videos on Instagram, or even TikTok, there's a high probability that I used InShot. I also use YouTube, where I just use YouTube for music, sound effects, stuff like that. Canva is my best friend. Canva is every creator's best friend, every service provider's best friend, because that's where you can go and make your graphics for free. I do have Canva Pro, but I do pay for a subscription, but I was using it it was free, and I use Canva for everything. Everything is an event. All right, if it's somebody's birthday, I'm using Canva, and I am going to put up a little poster because why not? Like, why not be extra? So yeah, so anything like all my graphics, tweets, all of that, Canva. So it's Canva, iMovie, basically InShot. TikTok is a good resource to say.
Do you have a time where you felt the most discouraged? And if so, tell us about it.
Yeah, all the time. I remember one time I was doing a series on sexual purity. So I do have a devotional. I have a 7-step devotional, which is a 7-day very short devotional, kickstart the sexual purity, right? And at the time, I personally was going through a little season where I felt far from God. I felt like, like I wasn't in the space where I was thinking pure thoughts. I wasn't doing pure things. And I felt like I was fighting against my flesh. And, I would lie to myself and I would tell myself some little stuff like, everybody go through this, you're going to be all right. Oh, you're not doing anything, you're not doing anything, so you don't really have a feel in a way. But I knew that I was not in the frame of mind to even talk about anything to do with purity, right? I remember feeling so down and feeling like a big hypocrite and saying, I'm not filming anything. How am I going to talk to people when I don't even have my act together, And I was really, really discouraged, feel bad, and go to God, bawl, go on the ground, because I was like, God, you called me here, but I feel like you're not helping me through this. So how am I going to talk to people about something like this when I'm not even getting my act together? And somebody had even asked me to come to their church to do some talk about purity, and I was like, I can't, I don't know how to do it. I can't do it with a pure mind and a clean heart, and I can't do it because I know that I'm not in the place where I'm supposed to be. So that was a really blow moment for me, and I just took my time. And when I would recommend that anybody going through a low moment, take your time and use your time wisely. Take a time off, fast, reconnect, quit if you want to, lock out the world if you want to, do what you need to do. So yeah.
What advice do you have for youths who want to be a part of this Christian culture but are scared of criticism?
Start where you're comfortable. Start there. So for instance, remember when I started with blogging. So that's just writing. I was hidden behind words. Nobody saw my face. I would use random pictures of the internet to express my thoughts. I would include pictures of myself every now and then, but I felt like they weren't professional enough, so I would use myself and I would hide behind those words, but I was still doing something. And I want you to think about this. You don't need a big audience. You don't need a whole lot of people, right? I currently have 6,000 people on Instagram. I have maybe 1,200 or so on YouTube. So I'm pretty new, right? But when you compare that to somebody who has 100 persons or 50 persons, it may seem like a big gap. But I was always doing it even if I had 10 people. Because think about it like this. If you are in a room with 20 people, don't you have an audience? Yes, you do have an audience. And you're going to create for that audience. Now, I also want you to think about this. If you create any type of content, written content, video content, just static content, pictures or whatever, and you can impact one person, you create to impact one person, you will have done your job. So if you feel shy, if you feel disheartened, if you feel like you don't have enough technology, start with where you can, because your impact may only reach one person, but that one person would have needed that impact. So start where you're comfortable and build up. So I started with blogging, then I moved to just doing Instagram, then I moved to IGTV, and then I went to YouTube. So even YouTube is still a very new era for me, and it's something that I fought for a really long time just because I felt discouraged. I was shy. I never wanted, like, YouTube is the big world wide world, like it's a big deal, like, anything there, so them can hold it against you in court. Like, it is there when you Google somebody's name, YouTube will pop up, versus Instagram that barely has a search engine. But I'm just saying that it took time. So start with your WhatsApp story. Start with sending maybe broadcast messages saying good morning. It doesn't take a lot. Just start where you're comfortable. Yeah, so all in all, I just want to encourage everyone as you try to embark on this journey. I want you to remember this. You may not purposefully say, this is what I want to use my social media platform for, but if you're a Christian and you use social media, you are a Christian influencer, okay? Once you have a platform, you are supposed to be using that platform purposefully because you're young and it's your space. This is where the buzz is. You know, so that's where the buzz is. So I want you to think about it when you're posting pictures. I want you to think about it when you're commenting on other pages that are not of God. I just want you to think about everything that you do on a social space because people are watching you. You think that nobody's watching you, you think that nobody's seeing you, you think that, you know, you are just this person who nobody cares about. But remember that you have already accepted being a child of God. You have already accepted the calling as a Christian. Everybody knows you're a Christian now. And when you post something half naked, you know what they're gonna say? Yeah man, that's why no Christian can talk to me, because look how you do that and look how you drink that and look how you're drunk and stuff like that. So I just want you to understand. I want you to understand that the calling as a Christian youth is not an easy or a simple calling, right? It's something that you need to understand, that you represent God in everything, no matter how minuscule, no matter how tiny, like every area of your life you're representing God. So you're gonna walk the talk, you're gonna talk the talk, and you're gonna be great. Blessings. Bye guys.